you, Laura. And here we have our incredible survivors. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for your bravery and your courage for telling us your story. It is very important for us and for the world to hear your story. If you allow me, first I would like to ask you, why did you decide to tell us your story after more than 20 years?
Due to all of the things that I've experienced in the touching and visible transition and evolution lived by the humankind through all of these years, after the culmination of such a catastrophe, we decided to step out of being just one more regular person, to tell our story for it to become a symbol of honor, struggle, and perseverance for all of the people who miss and ignore the essence of life.
Ella, what was your family like? And I would like you to tell us which memory you have of them, the best one.
We were four: mother, father, Anne, and me, Ella. But in fact, my real name is Margot. My family is from Germany, although it was so hard to acknowledge due to the situation. There is no doubt that through every circumstance, no matter what, we decided to stick together to face whatever situation that came.
I remember one time there was this admirer of mine. His name was Rabbi. And one Sunday when we as a family had the custom to dine and have such bread, Gavina, cheese and grapes. He came through that door and he started dining with us. I didn't know the reason at that moment. However, I figured my mother had invited him. At first, it was extremely awkward, but it ended up being the best night of my life.
And what did you remember about the German invasion and how did you react to the situation?
If you ask me for the truth, I don't enjoy looking so deeply into my excruciating past. What I remember the most was the mistreatment from all the Gestapo German soldiers, at least 50 of them, that took us and imprisoned us against our innate will. It didn't matter the circumstances. If we were sleeping, matting, eating, they will grab us with such strength. He will never forget. I will never forget the look in their eyes, those empty eyes, their behavior, lack of compassion and respect over us. It didn't matter the age.
How did your life change when the Nazi came into power?
We realized that as long as there exists a person thirsty for power and a mass of intractable people, anything like this may happen again. Since the first moment that the Nazi claimed the power, the nations turned into a dark atmosphere filled with evil.
How did you maintain hope in such a life-threatening circumstances?
My motivation during those hardships was the perseveration of my faith and the persistent memory of my family, both guiding me to fortitude and strength, which allowed me to face any type of threat and hardship living in the tangible world. For this, I concluded that people might imprison you and take you away from your freedom, your family, and the things you cherish and love the most, but they can never take away your hope.
How did you react when you knew your family was betrayed and transported to concentration camps?
It's useless to deny that in those moments my faith was about to fade and being blown away. And my soul and heart filled up with grief and anguish. However, Jesus helped me to surpass all of these situations that appeared in the worst period of my life. In those moments, I decided to drag out strength from where I had known to overcome all of the circumstances.
How did the Holocaust influence your faith, and what was it strengthen or weaken?
When you amidst of a situation that puts your faith in a risk, it's in that moment when you need to take whatever drop of hope you got inside to strengthen it. Many times I saw my faith falter, and I was about to surrender. However, it was then when I decided to test my limits and push harder to break through the barriers of oppression marked by the Nazi.
After all that you've experienced before and after the Holocaust, are you optimistic about life or are you pessimist?
Yes, I am. Because there are the experiences that make me climb up and blindly take a leap of faith to shape my character. This has also helped me act with perseverance against any hindrance that life constantly throws in our way. I know there is a bright future left for me and my sister in the few years that follow my existence.
How should people react to the violation of human rights, anti-Semitism and racism today?
People have the right to speak up for what they believe, and rights deserve our voices to be spread out. These rights are inherent to us and that are not exclusionary. We as humans need to try to be part of the group of people that hope for a better world, a world free of judgment and free.
Can you describe a day in the concentration camp? What motivated you to keep going on?
When the prisoner arrived to camp, he or she should hand over their clothes and personal possessions. Their hairs were shorn and they received a specific strip uniform with a pair of wooden clothes. The monotonous routine was characterized for a long list of orders and obligations, usually dictated to all of the prisoners, and specific ones to some individuals, most of them unpredictable. Every inch of strength in the prisoner was invested in overcoming the different stages of that daily routine: waking up early, birth arrangement, training, running the strenuous works, wanting the daily meal, usually an insipid soup of some vegetables and half loaf of bread. This was never enough to feed the people who performed the heavy task. Then we returned back to the camp and evening training and so on.
That must have been so painful and unbearable. What message would you like to tell to the people out there taking into account your experiences?
To you out there, I want to tell you that as much as the day seems to be gray, we must appropriate of all that darkness to be able to descry the light. Because midst of failure, help us see the sky of success, and at the end of the day, for us to see the rainbow, we must witness the storm.
Well, so this interview has concluded. I want to thank you so much for sharing to us your inspiring story. May God be forever present in your hearts and in your lives. Back to you, Laura.